Wow, that's awesome.
It's at 3 o'clock every day. So this is kind of my songwriting room, in a way.
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of awesome inspiration coming from that room. What's up, and welcome to the Ditty Drop. This is the show where I chat to an artist who's recently dropped a ditty that I have on repeat. Today, I'm super lucky to be chatting with one of my all-time favorite artists from one of my all-time favorite bands, Kakkmaddafakka. He's currently on tour with his show, The Modern Opera. He's the author of Jacob's Diary, and he's behind some of my favorite albums, including his newest release, Peak. Hailing all the way from Bergen, Norway, let's give it up for my dog, Pish. Or at least I think it's Pish. There's no sunglasses today, so I don't know, maybe Jacob crashes the party at some point.
Yeah, it's me. I'm very blessed to be here, my friend. Very, very cool that you wanted to have a talk.
Yeah. Well, actually, I see the sunglasses on top. Maybe they slide
Yeah,
down when we get to the...
it's always on. I need to pop them on every now and then.
Yeah, just let the Jacob out. So yeah, let's get straight into it, man. Dude, Peak was absolutely awesome. I freaking love it. I feel like it's a super nice continuation of the Pish sound. London draws inspiration from your experience of being trapped in Bergen, so you've said. Even if it means reminiscing on your time elsewhere, would you say living there has a big influence on your songwriting?
Yeah, definitely has. It's a very weird place, especially now these days. It's getting even weirder. It's such a small town, and it rains and it's very dark here. So people tend to find ways to escape in a way, because you can't get away from these seven mountains surrounding this small town. So people have a tendency of either they get like they get like manic about things. So this London thing is kind of me describing a scene that I've been kind of involved with, which is the party scene in Bergen, where some people take it too far, and you can, even in this super small town, you can pretty much party 24/7, 7 days a week. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, you can get into that. So that was kind of the escape. And I feel that, like, if you live in Bergen, you have to travel, because otherwise you go insane. Like,
Yeah,
the people
okay.
here go insane if they don't travel. So if you don't travel, you end up in London, as I call it.
No, I really like the metaphor for that. Like, so do you feel like Bergen offers much creativity, or is it all kind of the escape of it?
Yeah, it is kind of set away from everything else in a way. And I think, like, especially in Norway, like, music is more centralized than ever. Back in the days, it was more like we had a big Bergen wave coming and stuff like this. But I feel that now it's less of an alternative wave after, yeah, let's say mid 2010s. It's become more of like everything is just pop music in a way,
Okay.
especially in Norway. So you don't. It's such a small country that it's no longer a scene for like alternative stuff. So everything goes into like the same pit of everything in a way. So it's kind of sad, but
Helps you stand
also,
out.
yeah, it means you stand out a little bit. But I think everybody is just like, if you doing something, you want to be the next Kygo, or you want to be the next Aurora, and then you have to do kind of this pop way of doing it, which I don't mind pop music, actually, but I think it's a little bit sad that we don't have like these kind of own sounds also finding its way.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, just how Kakkmaddafakka like exploded out of there with their kind of unique sound. I mean, was that sound? Because I've heard of like the Bergen sound. Is that
Yeah,
still like kind of a thing?
yeah, it is kind of a thing, but like, I don't see like, I see the latest thing I've seen, like, which is kind of up there, is Boy Pablo was the latest thing. And
I
I love
love
Boy
Boy
Pablo,
Pablo. Yeah.
but after that it was the youth, and we waited a lot of years for Boy Pablo to come. So we were kind of the indie guys before Boy Pablo, and then Boy Pablo came, and then he, of course, exploded all over the place. And after that, it was kind of quiet, kind of. And I haven't heard of anyone else or new since,
Yeah.
so still waiting. But yeah.
So with London, it dropped in 2021, quite a while ago, and that is the first song on the album Peak. And you also released Jacob's Diary in just this last December. So I'm wondering, like, how did the idea of Jacob's Diary and the modern opera come together? Because they feel so interconnected. Like, was it always envisioned as a companion piece to that album, kind of?
Yeah, I got the album took some time to record because my good collaborator Matthias Tellas, he's now basically became a super producer after he
Nice.
produced the first album or the album of Girl in Red. So and he started recording that album while we started recording the Peak album. So in the middle of everything, we just have to stop because he had so much stuff to do. So then I became like kind of a kicking ball, and then the pandemic happened, and it was like kind of nothing was really going the way I wanted it to go. So it just got postponed and postponed again, and then I had all kind of the songs ready around 20, yeah, around when we started recording that. So it took some time to get like it done because of he had so little time.
Right.
But I'm very happy with it. And then along the way come this opera idea,
Yeah.
where because I didn't have like a live band, because he was in the live band, Matthias.
Okay.
He was the bass player, basically.
Gotcha.
And the other guy that plays the drums, Adrian Søgnen, he plays on pretty much every record I've done. Has a regular job and like is a part-time musician, to say it that way.
Okay.
So he don't want to tour or anything. And I don't feel I've found a drummer that is as good as him, to be honest. He's really good. So it was kind of a struggle for me to find something to do live, because I also have the other band, Kakkmaddafakka,
Yeah.
and we tour a bit. And after a tour of like 3 weeks, the last thing I want to do is to go and rehearse in a way,
Right. Yeah.
because my ears can't take it in a way. So then I had to figure out something else to do, and then I just got an idea that wow, yeah, maybe like a story during the show where I like make a story through my songs, kind of a musical thing,
Yeah.
and I wanted it to be like I could do it myself. So actually, like I can do it all by myself, and I wrote it with London being like the first track on that also, like to
Okay.
describe the like scene. So I have it on in here, and I can play it wherever it might fit me, and I can pull up to a bar and I can perform the opera right there and then.
That's
And
awesome. Yeah.
so it's kind of like freeing in a way, because now I'm not searching for this drummer or like imaginary drummer and this super nice good musicians to be along with me all the time. I can
Right.
now kind of, it works for me to do it by myself in a way.
Yeah. You don't have to wait
And then
around
I
on
had to
anybody.
and then I had to write the book, this Jacob's Diary book, the Oprah book, which I've actually been working on today, and it's been a hell of a job, I can tell you that.
Yeah. How's it writing your first novel?
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet in a way, because I didn't like I've always dreamt of writing something, but that it would be like it's very dictated because of the songs. Like the story has to be this way or this way because of the songs. So it's written in this way just to be working in the opera.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if I would have like done our own story, it would probably be a better story. But it was kind of weird writing it out when it was like dictated. Then London has to come there, and then this song has to come there, and it has to fit in a way. So but it was a great experience. I loved it. Like now I'm doing like all the technical shit with it. I'm producing the book and stuff like this, and this is kind of a headache for me because
Like
I'm
the publishing and. whatnot?
No, yeah, I have to like make the like how the paper will look and how the book will fold and everything, and for me it's like I get so easily distracted. So I'm working a little bit and then I'm totally out of it, and then I make a song or whatever, and yeah. So but when it's done, it's done. That's the cool thing about the book. So yeah, but it's been a weird one. I don't know if anyone else has done it this way before, but yeah, it's a weird concept.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you'll maybe write another book where you're free to kind of like go in any direction your mind is at in that moment, or?
Hopefully, hopefully I will get the urge to do that
Yeah.
one day. Now I'm actually like I already have my thoughts that it might be a Jacob's Diary 2 or a Modern Opera
Okay.
Volume 2. But then I have to like go in it from another direction and see what else, if there's something more for this Jacob guy, or if he's just dead in the sea. Let's see what's happening. But yeah, I want things to work. That's my main thing. So I need this book to be finished before I'm going on tour. So yeah.
Hey, well, speaking about this Jacob guy, can you walk us through the transformation from Pish to Jacob and explain the powers behind the sunglasses?
Yeah, I can explain. Jacob is kind of he's a lost guy. He's kind of a miserable type of figure, but I feel he's kind of representative of a young Norwegian male in a
Okay.
way, like of a young frustrated Norwegian male. And then when he puts his sunglasses on, he's in party mode or survival mode or Viking mode, as we.
Okay.
When I'm on tour, I'm pretty much Jacob in a way. Then it's red wine every day, and it's like you're tired, but you keep on going
Gotta
strong.
keep
It's
on.
hell out. It's hell either way. So when
Yeah.
you're in hell, you can
Make the best of it, right?
you just have to do what's best for hell. So this Jacob guy gets in love with this kind of lifestyle, and he kind of yeah he preach it in a way, like, and he goes into this lifestyle head on.
Well, it seems like through Peak, there's almost like an arc, kind of like by the end. I feel like you're kind of like growing up or like getting in touch with your inner child. You feel
Yeah,
like, I mean, because like even like within the song titles, it's almost like telling a story. Because like by the end, there's like the decline and everything. Was
yeah.
that was that kind of like thought out like in the moment? Was that like purposeful or did that just kind of come into play?
It came gradually while making the songs in a way, and I think a lot of it has to do actually with the pandemic in a way, because feeling that at least I'm born in '89, so I'm getting older. So
I'm a
to feel
91
that,
baby.
yeah, so to feel that like kind of your youth is done in a way,
Mm.
and you have to start on your, like, I don't feel old at all, like,
Yeah.
to be honest, but to feel that kind of the 20s, and it got like a really definite end. Like it was kind of when the pandemic hit, it was like kind of life is over,
Mm.
and it peaked in a way, like life in general. So then I had this title with me that peak would be a nice name to have, and to see that what more is in it, and then these songs fit very much into that kind of, it's kind of leaving the youth behind in a way, and start to look for new tops in a way.
Yeah. Growing up, becoming,
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Yeah,
yeah. Like becoming an adult, but staying in touch with that inner child, I feel like.
yeah. I feel like my second album, Schools Out, was also kind of like this beginning of what you will do after school in a way.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then Peak is kind of the story until the next chapter again. So let's see. Next album will probably be Midlife Crisis or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's just fuck.
Yeah, or, or Harley Davidson or something like that.
Yeah, right.
So that would be the next album.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Who knows? Maybe.
So, in the opening of your book, you kind of lay out your
You
disdain
read the
for.
book?
I read just the what you've posted so far.
Amazing,
I
man.
am going to buy it because based off the first chapter, it kind of speaks to me because this is almost I could use the whole hour just to talk about this, like fuck capitalism. No, I was kidding. But, yeah, I mean, like you kind of touched on that note to me of like, man, like I do this a lot too, where like I go out and I just like see like no one's here for the concert. They're here for the picture, or they're here to like look good for themselves. So
Very
like
true.
I had this recently where I went to see the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves
Nice.
the Eagles.
Yeah. I like
So I
him
went
too.
to yeah, oh, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Harmonies all day. So we went to see the Eagles, and it was such a different experience because I mean it's an older crowd. Everyone was sitting down. No one had their phones out, and everyone was just like sitting there, like just watching in awe.
Amazing, man.
Like I feel like you should be at a concert. You know, that's what you're there for. And you go to all these other concerts, and like people have their back turned to the stage, like talking to
Yeah.
the person behind them and stuff, and you're like, what are you doing here? You know, you don't even really want to be here. So that kind of touched on this note for me, where I like really felt something very strongly with that. And then how you talk about like you almost have to just get drunk just to like stoop down to the level just to be like, all right, whatever, I guess we're doing it, you know? Would you have, or what would be the piece of advice you would give someone feeling stuck in the system, and what would you say to help them break free?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because I'm very surprised how people get really stuck in the system in a way. Like for me to have a regular job would be hell in a way. You know, I can't do it, but still there's people out there that do it every day. And even though I'm not like super successful or I'm not especially wealthy or anything, I would rather be poor and do what I enjoy in a way
And be
than
happy.
to and be happy, you know, and feel that there's some kind of purpose in a way. So, but other ones that feel stuck, I don't know. I think maybe, like, this is my later thoughts, but I think maybe religion has been frowned upon on a lot of people. So I think it can be a more helpful tool than than I would, uh, um, that I would admit like 5 years ago. So I was kind of atheistic in a way, and I feel that when I saw people around me that really made change in their life and stuff, it really was like a religious thing where they
Yeah.
accepted something and then they became religious and then they kind of went out of that misery in a way.
Right. Yeah. I kind of relate to that too, because so like I grew up in a very Christian household, you know,
Yeah.
and then kind of just left and did my own thing. Felt very atheistic for a long time. And yeah, kind of like almost in the last really like several years, kind of felt like, you know, there's like something kind of like really beautiful and like taking all of the pressure off of you, and you know it's not so much on me. I'm
No,
It's all meant to be like, and that kind of like thought and stuff is really nice.
it's very freeing in a way
Yeah.
because then you kind of forget your questions in a way. Because if
Yeah.
you're atheistic, like I was for a lot of years, been atheist, and I was just stuck with these questions that would never be answered. I wouldn't like if there was an answer, of course, I could imagine that I understood the answer, but deep down, I understood also that it's so many equations in this that I will never understand this fully, you know? So just to give up that and just like say that, okay, yeah, there is something more, it's a
Hmm.
very much of a relief. And then you can kind of go from life from that point where you kind of, not to say that you don't have to believe in a God, you can be agnostic as well, and it will be kind of weight off your shoulders in a way. But I think to believe something bigger and set something higher than yourself will set you kind of free in a way. and it will be a good tool to use, for instance, the Bible to live a nice life. People that are religious, of course, with exceptions, they usually have a good life, you know,
Right.
and a good family and everything like this. And I think that's a lot of beauty in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like that golden rule, you know, do unto others as you shall have them do unto you, and I feel like
Yeah,
that's
it's beautiful. It's
yeah,
beautiful stuff.
yeah, like yeah, all the morality in it. I mean, that's what makes us
Jesus
human.
is
I feel
cool,
like
you know. Like he
yeah,
got a bad rap for a while. He was a cool guy, you know.
yeah. I mean, how could he be an asshole and be that popular?
No, he was not an asshole.
No, no, I'm saying
He was a cool guy.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's no way you're not, and you're that
When
liked.
when you have people writing books of you still, you know, and the people building these houses, you know, all over the place to worship you, you had to be doing something cool.
I mean, thousands of years later, you have to be
Yeah.
probably the coolest guy.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you say are your biggest differences and challenges of writing and building a song like with Kakkmaddafakka versus being like a solo artist?
Yeah, it's definitely different. And this is why I made Pish. It was kind of, I felt that getting into like an cooperative mode every time was kind of exhausting in a way. I needed some outlet where I just like could be do the me thing. And that's not very Christian like, but and looking back at it, it's kind of egocentrical way, but I had a really strong urge to do it, and it's very much different. But I love both things, you know, and to make something completely where you have to like really depend on yourself to think that say that this is cool enough, and not be having others as a crutch in a way to also help you out or like to ask if they like or not to know what you like in a way it's
Hmm,
very freeing, but
yeah,
I love the cooperative side of it also with Kakkmaddafakka. It's amazing to also get away from yourself and your head in a way and not be so independent all the time, so
yeah,
it's different. But I like both is great, you know, to meet. It's a lot me and my brother that makes the music for Kakkmaddafakka, you know. So when we do something together, I feel that it's very it always become really special just because of the nature of us two being brothers, just
yeah.
basically. So it's something special happening there in the energy and stuff like that. And it really depends on if we are on good terms or what day it is and stuff like this. So but when it works, it's my best songs is are with together with Kakkmaddafakka, you know, or together
Well,
with Axel.
I mean, I feel like maybe you think so.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, you always, it's like I write my own music too. And so it's always like if I write with someone else, I can enjoy it and appreciate it so much more because if it's my own stuff, I'm still critiquing it like
Yeah.
all the way through and still like, man, what if I just mixed it like this or added in that or
Yeah.
took away that, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But yeah,
that's really
I
interesting.
have that. I have that, but I can't do that. Like I have not released one song which I haven't cooperated with. Like when I've done my solo stuff, everything has been through this Matthias guy, you know. So I have to have somebody to work with. Like to doing it all alone, that's hell for me. To I don't even know how to. I just know how to make the song basically, and to make the mixing and stuff. I know what I like and stuff, but my taste is kind of lo-fi in a way. So all my demos sounds like shit. But then I always treat it like I'm writing the song in the box, and then I'm gonna take it out of the box, and then other ones can. I need a real drummer on it because I love the real drums, and then it goes from there, you know. And then Matthias usually play the bass, for instance, and then we go from there, you know. And then then it becomes special. So you have to take it through. Like I've never released a song which I've done 100% on my own. Never.
Okay, okay.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I feel like that would be impossible because I'd be second guessing everything.
Yeah, that's like some Tame Impala shit, and I don't know if he's doing it either. If he does that, really, really, he already, I'm very impressed by him. He's a very good, he's great. This Kevin Parker guy, but if he does everything himself and mixes it himself, also that would, his brain has to be fried, man. Like it's,
Seriously, the stress.
yeah, yeah, it's stress, it's stress. But he seems like a calm guy, you know. Super
Yeah,
talented
yeah,
also. Yeah,
yeah. Maybe
he's
a
good.
lot of weed helps probably.
Yeah, do you think he's a big toker?
I feel like it. How could he
Yeah,
not be?
maybe. I don't know.
He seems like
Yeah,
very chill like that, you know?
yeah, maybe.
Who knows though? Who knows?
Yeah,
Well, I did know, like,
I don't actually think he's such a big toker. Actually,
maybe not. I
I think he's
noticed
like he uses lit in bibs and bobs here and there, but I don't think he's like Willie Nelson or a Snoop Dogg.
like Snoop Dogg, yeah. He just like in front of his board, like,
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, he's got some great song, man.
oh man,
Songs,
some
yeah,
killer. And like just how he loops his stuff, like if you watch any of his like live streams,
yeah, yeah.
I
He's
just
good.
go on like these crazy loop things.
He's
Man,
great.
it's wild.
He's really really good.
So, do you feel like your native tongue helps with lyrics when translating to English? Like, do you feel like there's like any phrases or slang that translates in a
I think maybe I've been like the naivety of the language is kind of pretty good, you know. I think that my limit in English speaking and in English wording has been good songwriting wise, because then I don't have this, like when I do banal lyrics, kind of I go for it. If I would be a native English speaker, I would probably sit there and say, this is too shit, or like that line is too dumb, or whatever, you know. It's like rap music. In rap music, you had like through the 90s and stuff, you had like this kind of backpacker rap, you know, and you wanted to rhyme with the most difficult things, you know, all the time, you know, and the preposterous, monstrous, sword rosterous, you know, and and it was such a relief when Two Chains came, you know, when he was just like, yeah, I'm just saying some cool shit, you know,
yeah,
and saying it straightforward in a way. But you have to come to that level. But I feel that as a Norwegian guy, you come to that level like straight in, you know.
yeah,
You skip the like preposterous, monstrous style, you know.
yeah,
So you just go straight on the dumb shit,
right,
and I like that.
yeah.
It's a lot in Bergen. We talk a lot in Bergen, and even like small parts of the city talk different, you know.
So Berginsk, is that, did I say that
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
that your dialect
Yeah,
or
that's my dialect, and you
okay?
got like fractions in the city that if you're from this hill, you talk like this, and if you're from that hill, you talk like that. So I'm brought up in the kind of posh area.
Okay.
I'm talking a little bit posh, but then you go to the other side and they speak a little bit more, yeah, city vibe or whatever, you know. So it's different, but yeah, favorite slang. I don't know. It's a lot. I can't come up with my favorites. We have so much. Yeah, we could call, like, if it's something is cool, we call it mat. You know, and
Malt?
that's, yeah, it's food.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you're just like, that's food. You
Okay.
know, if it's cool or that, if it's nice, yeah, that's food. So
Okay.
yeah, that's a weird little slang
It's
we
like
have.
tasty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is good taste.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is my wrap up question that I always hit on, and this is my perfect segue. I kind of fucked up the segue.
Yeah, yeah. Go for it, man.
But if I'm ever in Bergen, where do I need to
Yeah.
eat?
You have to eat in this Turkish place called Baban. This is
Okay.
like, yeah, that's the go-to spot for me. And they got like this kind of grill thing. But Bergen is very difficult when it comes to eating. Also, it's very much like then you can eat very very well. But in Bergen, it's kind of tough, man. Like, it's, for once, it's really expensive, and you always feel like a little bit ripped off everywhere you go. So I would go for Baban and Almuen. I would go and eat. That's a little bit more like posh or like a little bit more expensive place. And then you have this great Thai place called Asian Street Food,
Okay.
which is very good and affordable. And also you got what else is there then? Yeah, that's my recommendations: Baban, Almuen, and Asian Street Food.
Dude, if I'm ever there, I might hit you up and be like, "Hey, meet me at the
Yeah,
Asian street market."
yeah, or the
Asian
Turkish
street
one.
food. Or the Turkish one, yeah.
Yeah, the Turkish one is good.
um, so I was actually showed Kakkmaddafakka by a good friend of mine from Spain, like
Wow, yeah, cool.
probably like 6 years ago. Well, actually, it was around the time when Diplomacy came out, so maybe a little
Yeah, that
bit
was
short.
2018, I think.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
was it 19? I'm not really sure. I think it's 18.
yeah, something. Yeah, so about 6 years ago, and man, I was like pretty much trapped in LA, driving a rental car around, just bopping
Cool, man.
and dude, it just like fit that LA vibe so nicely.
Yeah.
When are y'all coming over to America? When are you
That would
doing
be
your
great, man. Yeah, we're going to Mexico
yeah.
now in pretty soon, actually.
Dude,
So,
I was very close to making a trip down there for that because I'm
yeah,
like that
please
might be the
come.
closest like I might be able to get them, you know?
Yeah, Mexico, we try to go once a year to Mexico, but like the US is kind of, you know, the name, you know? That's the problem, I think. Like that's been our problem, like, or like it's not a problem, but like that's been our like setback from the beginning, in a way, like our name, and we're stubborn, so we haven't changed the name. So but I think like in a religious country like yours, I think people will have to
Man,
swallow some camels
I
to
don't
just
know,
get over
dude.
the name.
Nah, man, I don't. So there's like that divide, you know? Like if you come through like the Bible Belt as we call it,
Yeah,
the
we got the
southeast.
same hair.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe there might be some pushback, but you also have like the other half that's like like been like yearning for something like this that's like
true that.
needs, you know?
Yeah,
So
I think the time is better now maybe than ever, and I think like, but you know, you need radio with you and stuff like this, and you
yeah.
won't have a radio guy calling the name out, you know, and then it would. But radio is less and less needed now these days, you know, with the digital age and stuff like this. So I think it will come a time for Kakkmaddafakka in America also, you know, and it
Man,
will be great.
it has to, man. I feel
Yeah,
like
I would love it.
man, I feel like there's a
Yeah,
market there for sure.
I love America, man. I would love
Yeah.
to come to America.
Well, dude, so like years ago, I was like, let me hit them up on Instagram, and I was like, I asked y'all like, so when are y'all coming to America? And all y'all sent back was a picture of Toby Keith, and I was like, this is my favorite band. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
Because
love
I
me
was
some
like,
Toby Keith though. Did
I
he
was like,
die? Did he die?
yeah,
Yeah, that's very
R.I.P.
sad,
Toby
man.
Keith, man.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
he is a legend.
Oh
Totally a legend.
yeah, dude. He actually has like some really hilarious music videos. I'm not like a huge like country music person,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I love some of his songs, man. I think like 5 o'clock somewhere or something like that. It's totally one of my vibes. Like now on a Friday, it's easy for me to put on that song. You know,
yeah,
it's a big one for us on the road. We often
yeah,
put that on. Yeah, it's a big one.
yeah. So before I get out of here, what are like some of your biggest influences? What are some artists I need to know?
I gotta say, like, since you're from Atlanta, I need to give credit what credit is due. One of my all-time favorite artists actually is Young Thug.
Oh, hell yeah,
One of my all-time favorite artists is him. I feel he is such a music guy. I've never seen music more in anyone else. Almost like he's more musical than he can do anything, and it would be good music. So from that point, rap music is of course big. I've been a lot of rap music, but guys, I love Kanye West, of course, and I also love like the Beatles,
oh
ABBA,
yeah,
and also our friends in Kings of Convenience. You know this
Okay.
band?
No.
It's a Norwegian big duo. Kind of, they are the guys that like makes the most beautiful two guitar music ever.
Awesome. I'll check
They
them
are
out.
huge. Yeah, check them out. They are one of our closest friends, but they are huge influence on me. And also the Whitest Boy Alive. It's also one of the guys'
Oh,
band, and it's also super duper nice.
okay, so
Which
I've heard
is
them. Yeah.
that's Erlend Øye, the guy with the glasses.
Okay.
And so he's been a major influence. We met each other first time in like 2008, and ever since he's been kind of a mentor for us. And he's been like taking us under his wing and stuff like this. And with his both big projects like Wild Boy Live and Kings of Convenience, has been a major influence on us and on me. Other guys, I love this Swedish guy called Cornelis Vreeswijk. I think he's like one of the best. And now these days, I've been really into this Mexican music also, this cumbia music. I love
Okay.
a lot. Yeah. Also great. And other guys, I like my friends and like local music. I get inspired by them also. And yeah, it's a lot of great music, man.
Man,
Yeah,
it's all
it's
out
great.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much for your time today, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you.
Also meeting you too, man. Great
Dude,
conversation.
if I'm ever over in Bergen, I'll hit you up. And if you're in America,
Yeah.
hit me up. If you're in
Yeah,
Atlanta, I'll show you the good
or
places
we
to
do
eat
this
over
again.
here. Yeah,
Or we do this again.
definitely.
Call me. I'm
Let's
down,
do
you
it.
know, if you want to do a weekly Europe segment or whatever.
Yeah, all right, okay. Connecting the lands. That'll be
Yeah.
the next show.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah. Dude, well, thank you so much again.
Thank you, man.
Anyone watching, go listen to Peak right now. If you can make it to the Modern Opera in Germany, go. I
Yeah,
wish I could.
Go for
Yeah.
it. I will try to bring that over to the States also. That would be amazing.
Oh man, I'll be there. I'll be
Yeah, that
there.
would be fun.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, have a great rest of your day, and
Thank you, man.
we'll talk again.
We do.
Yes, we're friends now.
We are.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Well, hey, have a good one, man.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
See my face when the sun goes down.